So we're looking at mission-focused programming, and really what that means is we're looking at our training program, we're looking at the next major training event, we're looking at what our potential missions are, and real-world operational missions, and we're trying to build our fitness programming that all geared toward our next major mission set.
The reality is Alaska is different, and especially in the winter here in Fairbanks, we only get about 3 hours of daylight.
We've started building an offset PT program. We're allowing companies to say, hey, for the last 250 years, people have been standing in formation at 6:30 and saluting the flag, and that's just how it's done. That's how we do it. And to me, there's no reason for that. That's not when people are optimal. So we've been building, as part of the mission-focused programming, we're giving the opportunity for companies to change when during the day they do their fitness training, not PT, but when they train for fitness on their training schedule in alignment with the missions that they have for that day, that week, that month.
The battalion commander talks about we're not just training for the ACFT, but we're kind of training for overall general fitness. I think that caters well too, because the ACFT is like a good test, but if you train for a test, that's kind of your only benchmark. So we also run kind of our own testing and make sure that we're training for kind of the mission-specific tasks.
So what we did was we took a company from 1-5 Infantry, SECO, and for 8 weeks they did PT outside of 6:30. That was their only rule.
Yeah, definitely the big challenge is the winter here. We have limited resources with gym equipment, and it's a big challenge when you have 4 months and the roads are covered in 6 inches of ice. So especially here, you got to be flexible. So when you're making a plan, try to have some flexibility and some options in it.
We saw them do it typically mid-afternoon, but it just depended on what their mission requirements were that day. So if they had a range, that became their ruck day. They rucked to the range, or they went to the range early and came back and did PT when they were done. So what we saw was they weren't just canceling PT based on mission requirements, they were just moving it around. And there was an inherent flexibility then built into their day-to-day. We asked them how many of them were actually fueling prior to PT at 6:30, and 70% of them said they never ate anything before PT. During this 8-week offset period, only 7% of people said that they weren't eating before PT. And in general, we tend to see performance improvements when you train later in the day.
And what we see is that soldiers are eating better because we're protecting their meal times. Soldiers are more motivated to do their fitness regime. So when they show up, they're more motivated and they actually work harder. So they're achieving more fitness results because we're doing it at a time that's more optimal for them versus 6:30 just because that's when George Washington did it.